All right, guys, today I'm talking about the recovery gear that I keep in my truck at all times. So this is basically the stuff where if I'm out on my own or, being from Colorado, if I come across somebody who's stranded, I want to be able to help them. The only thing that I'm missing right now that I probably want to add at some point, right now I live in North Carolina. We don't get really gnarly winters here, but before I move back to Colorado, or after I do, before the winter, I'm going to probably get some running boards. That's basically the one thing I'm missing, but I don't really need them right now, and so I'm not going to take up the space with them. Um, but that's basically the one thing I'm missing. So start with the basic thing. First of all, my window scraper, this is the one I got. It's got that attached. The first time I've ever had a window scraper like this. Normally I have the little short ones, but I wanted one that expands. Works great for that. And then this panel, first of all, it's got batteries in it so that it can turn on lights, but if you just got loose snow on, it's great. It's great for brushing off those those high up windows. So that's pretty basic, but obviously you want a window scraper. Jumper cables. You've got to carry jumper cables with you at all times. So, and they need to be, especially for bigger vehicles, SUVs, trucks, but even smaller vehicles. The lower the gauge number, the better it is and the more current it's going to be able to handle. So this is 1 gauge, and for me, I got a 25-foot set because I've got a truck. And I want to basically, if I'm in a situation where I have to pull up behind some other long vehicle or somebody has to be behind my truck and I have to reach, I want long cables. So 1 gauge, 25 feet, that's about as good as you can get, and I've got the best so that when I need them, I'm not going to have crappy cables with me. I do have some chains. Hopefully never really need to use these, but these are interesting. I went back and forth on what to get with these. Ford, for my truck, they really don't recommend to use chains at all. And if you do, you need like S clearance, S rated, I should say, for just the back tires, not the front. Now, there are different people who have different opinions, and different states have different laws. Some states have chain laws where you just need to have chains, but you don't need to have them on. But regardless, I do have these. So these are self-tightening by AutoTrack. I have put these on. If you ever get chains, the very first thing you should do in nice warm weather is put them on, or at least in manageable weather if you have to drive onto them. Put them on, make sure that they fit your tire, make sure you know how to put them on so you're not doing it on a dark, blizzardy night for the first time and then come to find out they don't fit. So have put these on. They fit just fine. With these self-tightening traction chains, they come really highly rated. I did read some reviews that they don't necessarily do as well with the big vehicles, so that might be a little bit of a gamble. I'm not super worried about that at this point. Conditions are going to be real bad before I bust these out. I've got all-terrain tires. I've got 4-wheel drive. But if I need them, I have chains. Very good idea to have if you're in an area that has lots and lots of snow, and I always want to have those on me. All right, let's kind of get to the more general stuff. So I got this duffel bag from Carhartt. I love this bag. It's heavy duty and holds a lot of weight. This bag, first of all, the chains, everything lives inside the truck. Most all of it lives. The chains are tucked behind the rear passenger seats, so they're kind of tucked back there. Kind of a pain to get in and out, but how often do I need those? Jumper cables live underneath the front passenger side seat. This just lives tucked along the back, kind of along the floor, behind my seat. And then this stuff. So these live in that kind of compartment underneath the driver's side the back passenger seats. This is what lives in front of my tool roll. But this bag, I love. First of all, this front zipper, I should say, before we really get into the big bag. Well, those are some extra charging cables. That's a 12-volt charge cable for my jumper. But I do have a hitch pin, in case I need to be towing someone. I don't normally leave this on my hitch, but I do have it in case I need it. So when we get into the bag itself, very first thing on top, got some work gloves, and I got a reflective vest. So if I'm out in a situation where I'm needing to recover myself, those are the first things that go on because I don't want to get hit and I don't want to F up my hands working on it. All right, this bag in here, This came with the duffel, which is great. I love that I got a second bag. So in this bag, I keep a couple of ratchet straps and a handful of bungee cables. So I've got all that stuff in here if I need it. This right here, this is an important item. This is my jumper box. So, flip it around so you guys can read it. So it's the NOCO Boost. This is the GB70. So this is the big boy. It's not the largest one I think available, but it's a big boy because I've got a big truck, a big battery, so I want to make sure that it has the ampage to like handle that. If you drive a smaller vehicle, I think it's the GB40 will work perfectly fine for you. But for me, I got the big one. But this is great. I can jump my own battery with this. It's very easy to use, very user-friendly. Something I should mention is for all my electronics, be it my flashlights, be it this thing, be it anything else, anything that's got battery power, I'm pulling them out at least every 6 months, if not more often, and just plugging them in, making sure they're fully charged. So make sure you're always doing that. I carry spare batteries with me. This thing you can use as an emergency battery for like your phone and stuff, but I have other batteries for that. I'm really just setting this thing aside to jump the truck battery if I ever need it. Go ahead and talk about this one. Underneath, we have my air pump. So I've got this bad boy from Avid Power to pump my air. It comes with, so this actually is a 12 volt converter, so I can just plug it into the cigarette lighter and run it. I'm probably never going to use that. I'm probably always going to go battery powered. So I actually have 2 batteries for it at all times. But this thing is great. It's heavy duty. It's good for those larger tires that I've got on the truck. There are other types of air pumps out there. And especially if you've got smaller tires, those will be fine. My concern was battery life. I wanted something a little heavier duty because if I'm needing to fill up 1 or even 2 tires, big tires, even though I only would fill up to like 35 PSI, but if I'm ever having to air down or air back up, I want to make sure that I'm not sitting there forever and just killing the battery on 1 tire. So got a bigger heavy duty thing. It is automatic, has an automatic shut off. So you just set the PSI to what you want, pull the trigger, and it is off and pumping. So this thing is great. It does come with some needles and stuff, like sports balls and stuff, but I'm probably not going to use it for that. All right, getting back to the recovery bag. So we talked about my charger, talked about ratchet straps. I do carry a hatchet with me at all times in case I ever need it. And then in here, so these are a set. I left them zip tied so they're not falling all over the place, but I can always cut them if I need them. But these are a set of road markers. So if I'm having to pull over at the side of the road, go set these up. There's 3 of them, just for my safety as well as the drivers around me. Going to set something like that up. I have a nice big heavy duty tow strap in case I ever need to help someone out or need someone to give me a hand. And then the very last thing I have in here is a compact shovel. So if I need to dig myself out of a situation, this is small, obviously. It's going to be a pain in the ass if that big truck is stuck in a ton of snow. But I have a shovel with me. It's always important. This is probably the most important tool you can always have as far as recovery. Jumper cables and a shovel. If you have nothing else, you need to make sure you always have those 2 things. Next tier would be charger box, air pump, and then we kind of get to the rest, tow straps and stuff. So I've got that in case I ever need it. If I'm planning on driving in a ton of snow and I foresee a situation where I might be more likely to get stuck, first of all, then I will have my running board. Second of all, I'll probably get a larger shovel, or a snow shovel. But I always have this with me at all times. And it can function as a saw too on the side. So that's basically it. That's all the equipment I keep for recovery. Highly recommend that everyone watching this keep some sort of kit in your vehicle, no matter the size. Make sure you're prepared. So if you're stranded on the side of the road, you're not totally helpless. All right. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.